We all know that being an online business owner can be an absolute emotional roller coaster. But if the emotion of resentment is coming up in your business, you're going to want to listen to this video because we're going to talk about the number one way to remove this negative emotion from your experience of running a business as a coach or healer. My name's Chelsea, and I'm a business strategist and also own a micro marketing agency for coaches, healers, speakers, and authors. And a lot of what we do in marketing is actually driving traffic to offers that we're excited to bring out to the world. And we do that for clients in my agency. And the disconnect that can happen and the emotional turmoil when you are creating an offer and you love the offer, you know that people stepping into this type of work with you are going to experience transformation. Part of designing an offer, however, is assigning a price tag. Assigning a price tag. What will people need to pay to step into this level of work with you and be able to feel good that it's an equal energy exchange? Now, many coaches and healers, we also happen to be empaths. We feel big, we're sensitive, and quite honestly, many people who I work with step into holding space and offering sessions and support in specific methods and modalities that were completely life transformational for themselves. So imagine this, you go through working with someone, having an experience of your own, realizing that life can feel a completely different way, and then you learn how to help others do the same. There's always going to be a part of you that feels like everybody deserves to feel this way. Everybody deserves to have the same experience that I did. Now, they do deserve that, and there is a struggle that can happen if you realize that you have put time, effort, money, resources into learning how to hold space and learning how to be supportive of that transformation for others, but then discounting the monetary value. That's really where I see resentment can literally creep in. And it is a negative emotion. Maybe it has a stigma in your mind. Do you want to resent your clients? No, you don't want to resent your clients. You want to hold them to their highest esteem, to their highest potential. And yet, so many coaches and healers, once they've designed this beautiful offer, let's say it's how you're going to hold space for a certain workshop or a 6-month program or a group membership, and you're saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be so beautiful. There's going to be these features. People are going to experience this. It's going to feel like X, Y, and Z. And then part of planning a launch to bring that out to the world is thinking, okay, what are people going to pay to step into that work? Now, if you're just kind of squishy, looking at other people's similar types of programs, no real method in how you're pricing your offers, and you're not really sure what your profit margin is going to be, then when you are on, let's say, a clarity call for someone who might be stepping into a 6-month program with you, and maybe during that clarity call, it feels like a yes, 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 full body yes for them, a match, you know you could support them. And then it comes to the conversation at the end to say, okay, I could hold a spot for you. The investment is going to be blank. Are you ready to get started? And that yes, 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 all of a sudden starts to backpedal into I've got to talk to my husband. I've got to really think about this. Oh, that's more than I thought it was going to be. Whatever their reaction is, if your immediate response is, well, I could offer you a discount, or I do hold spots for 2 scholarships in each round, or you know what, I'm going to send you a 50% off coupon. I really want to make sure you get this benefit. That's going to be a problem for your business long term, both from a financial stability standpoint and also over time. If you do this too much without really thinking it through, you will start to experience resentment. You will get onto, let's say that was a conversation for someone joining into the 6-month group program. You start to notice that particular person isn't showing up to the group calls as much as you thought they would. They're not leaning in. They're not getting the transformation that you wanted. And in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, I gave them a discount. I made it more accessible for them to come in and receive this benefit. Like, how dare they, right? Have you ever experienced this? Be honest. Or if this was for maybe a one-on-one conversation, that clarity call was to lean into a one-on-one support level, then you're really going to be like popping up on your calendar. Oh, I've got to get on to a call with Jess later. Oh yeah, I'm barely getting paid for that. Okay, these are the real life situations that space holders like yourself can struggle with. Now, how are we going to smooth over this tension? First is that I want you to think about your pricing perhaps differently than you have been. I want you to think about your pricing as a business owner And then to think about ways that you can support people who need different levels of financial access to you as your for purpose offerings to the world. So I have always thought about my business as having two sides, for profit and for purpose. Now, I am not a not for profit. I am showing up in the world to grow a business, to earn an income, to help my family pay down debt, to save up for vacations, to invest. I'm sure at least on some level you're in the same boat because you've been searching how to earn a living doing what you love as a coach or a healer. And so these tips are going to help you so that you can be in that energy of being for profit, but holding space for allowing accessibility and for purpose offerings in your business. So let's talk briefly about how you can approach the for-profit side of what you do. Looking at how to price your sessions and your services and your programs and your packages and your spaces and your memberships, right? All the different types of offerings that you can be running. I actually have a very step-by-step guide. If you've never engaged in it, it's called the Intuitive Pricing Guide. There's a link down below, and it walks you through how to do market research, how to value your unique value proposition into the world, how to actually look at setting up a very, very simple business plan to understand the financial needs of your business and also the financial needs of you as the owner of the business, because you are actually separate from your business, even if you're the personal brand, even if you're the only person involved in running your business. Because you should have a separate business banking account so that expenses and income of your business are flowing over here. And then there's hopefully some spillover, some excess, and that's going to come over as pay to you as the owner. Now, if you can start to lean into some of these steps, and if that feels a little bit squishy for you, definitely go through the Intuitive Pricing Guide below. Then you're going to start to understand the profit margin, let's be honest, of what it looks like to hold space and to charge a certain amount. So when you're on that call, let's kind of flash back to that same clarity call. If someone says, oh, that's more than I thought it would be, or I've really got to sit with this, I'm not quite sure about the financial piece. You can have a different level of confidence where you're able to say, I totally get that. I've designed this program a certain way to offer the type of support that it really sounds like you need. And I would be happy to circle back with you in 48 hours to see if it's still a full body yes, and if you can make that investment. That groundedness, that saying you designed the offer and you know that you designed the pricing feels so different than, oh my gosh, let me frantically, frenetically figure out how we can get you into here. Now, part of why you might feel like you have that ability to hold that space is that perhaps you have lower cost ways that people could step into a lower access level with you, or free resources, free content that people can engage in. So when I think about having a for purpose side of my business, I think about things like making these YouTube videos, running a podcast, perhaps running a free workshop or a community circle, putting together free or low access ways that people can get into your space without having the energetic match and the investment feel so out of whack. Now, if you can find ways to be showing up and saying oh, well, if you can't come into this program, did you know that once a month I run a free energy healing? And you're able to join that, and you can do as many of them as you want for free. And then if you ever get to a place where you can invest, I, of course, would be honored to work with you. That type of guiding people to a next step that's going to feel good for both of you will help you to remove this energy of resentment, and it will be an opportunity of self-leadership, really, for you to guide these people to, hey, we feel like a vibrational match. I know you want to work with me. Here's what's going to best match where you're at on your commitment level or your resources or your ability to engage in my work. Now, designing the pricing, I know Intuitive Pricing Guide is going to help you. It feels squishy on that. Thinking through what content you put out and what ways you support people so that you have that for purpose offering. I think instead of just thinking, oh, I'm creating lead magnets, I'm creating freebies, I'm creating all this free content in hopes that people find me, even if it can just be a perspective or a mindset shift to say, creating these opportunities for people to get a taste of my magic, to step into my world without it being a high connection, a high access to me as a person, but they're still going to start to be able to have a drip of transformation. And if you can see it that way, creating the content, creating the freebies, creating the lead magnets, it becomes so much more magical because you actually get excited to promote it to people who aren't ready to lean into your bigger ways of support. So I hope that by watching this video, you can figure out specific and nuanced ways to remove those negative emotions that are very real and happen on a regular basis for many entrepreneurs. So you're not alone. And if you've made it this far, you may be seeking community of like-minded entrepreneurs who think things through like this and match out the strategy with the energetic experience of being a business owner, in which case I highly encourage you to go down below and also explore my intuitive business community. It is one of my 4 purpose offerings where you can lean in at a very financially accessible level and be able to have community, support, networking, and even learning as you go on this journey of earning a living doing what you love. Thank you for being here. I hope that you are excited about next videos that we're going to have. Subscribe. And if this was helpful for you, share it out to a biz bestie, another healer, or a colleague who could benefit from this topic.